I just graduated. Well, actually, it's been a few weeks now, but it's still surreal and insane to say that out loud. Honestly, my system hasn't caught up yet. I still feel like I'm just waiting for the next semester to start, but it's real and it's done. And now that I've officially made it to the other side, I wanted to share some more things I wish I knew when I was in college. I actually made the first part of this video back when I was entering my senior year, and back then I had no idea that college could get tougher. I thought junior year was as bad as it could get, but my senior year really pulled jokes on me. So whether you're about to start college or already crawling your way through the hell of it, hopefully this video will save you from, or at least prepare you for some of the stress college is about to give you. Okay, first, take advantage of your first year. Your first year of college is the perfect time and opportunity to establish a strong academic foundation. I know there can be a steep learning curve transitioning from high school to college, but compared to the latter years, your first year comes with relatively low stakes. Most of the courses I took during my first year were Gen Ed, electives, and non-major specific courses. I didn't have to specialize in a major or track yet. I didn't have to take major specific courses. I only had to do that during my third year. So if you can choose your own courses, take your first year as an opportunity to explore different subject areas. Enroll in courses that maybe interest you, enroll in courses that can maybe deepen your knowledge about your program. So by the time you have to choose your major, you have a much clearer sense of direction. Aside from that, try your best to secure high grades during your first year. The latter years of college come with more hellish workload, more challenging coursework, and more academic pressure. So achieving high grades, or at least good grades, will be much more challenging. It'll require more effort, more caffeine, probably, and more sleepless nights. I did exactly that. I invested my first 2 years of college, so even when I was struggling to make it out alive in my last year of college, even when I was about to drive myself crazy, I still was able to feel a bit more at ease. Because I put in the effort early on and achieved the grades I wanted, I was able to relax a little and focus on finishing strong rather than stressing over every single grade. Of course, that goal of achieving high grades during your first year becomes nearly impossible if you don't have a solid system in place. I have already done a thorough discussion of some evidence-based study tips on a previous video, so I'd love for you to check that out. But aside from those, there are 3 habits that I practice and that I found to be really helpful with memory and retention. One is reading before the lecture, second is taking notes during the lecture, and third is reading those notes at the end of the day. So before any lecture, I try to read even just a chapter of the textbook we're about to discuss that day. I don't try to understand every single detail. I focus more on getting the main idea and identifying any key terms or concepts that are unfamiliar. This gives me a head start so I can pay attention to any confusing or tricky concepts during class. During class then, I try to write as much of the lesson as I can using Scrintal. Special thanks to Scrintal for partnering with me on today's video. Now, one thing I've noticed with professors is that they don't always do the best job at explaining the connections between concepts. They tend to jump from one topic to another, and I find myself realizing later on that this concept should be under this concept and that this concept should be under this concept. With handwritten notes, that can be difficult to rearrange, but with Scrintal's overview effect, I can make sense of the bigger picture. So if halfway through the lecture I find 2 topics that are apparently related to each other, I can easily form a connection between them. And this also forms a bidirectional link between these 2 topics. This means that if I link topic A to topic B will also show a link back to topic A. I love this feature because it allows me to easily navigate from one topic to another. So for instance, for my assignments, I can embed another card which contains the lesson that I can use as a reference. And if I look at that card, it also shows the specific assignments that lesson was used for. What's even great is that Scrintal offers a one global archive, which means that I can reuse and search for cards across different boards, so everything stays connected and easy to access. I also have a section here for tasks to do, so if midway through the class or after the class, if our professor decides to give out an assignment, I can easily take note of them. With each card that you make on Scrintal, you can also attach photos, PDFs, links, or YouTube videos. At the end of the day, I can refer back to these boards, I can see which assignments are due for the week, and I can even scan through my notes. Scrintal is offering an early bird promo and a special discount for students, so I highly suggest checking out Scrintal today to lock in the best price before the official launch. Just follow the link in the description below and secure your offer. Now, a lot of students, myself included, probably go into college thinking that their programs are only meant for one career path. And I think that's because society has built certain norms around each program. If you're studying bio, you'd probably be a doctor. But the truth is, when you enter college, you learn so much about your program that you discover doors to all kinds of opportunities. For instance, I also used to think that being a doctor was the only path after bio, but when I specialized in microbiology, I found and discovered a whole new world that was as exciting. With a bio degree, I can pursue careers in research, in pharmaceuticals, or even in environmental science. Truly, your program is just the beginning. As you go through college, keep an open mind and again, take advantage of the resources you have now to explore different career paths. Next one, seize those internships, workshops, seminars, seize opportunities where you can learn outside of the classroom. They are very important in building your CV later on, but more importantly, these opportunities bridge the gap between the theoretical knowledge you gain from the classroom and the industry-specific responsibilities that await you in the real world. When I did my internships, I was really surprised by how different the experience was from college. Yes, I did learn the basics. Yes, I learned the fundamentals in college, but there was still so much I needed to learn. I had to use unfamiliar equipment that wasn't available in a university. I had to follow methodologies that were project specific, so they were completely different from how we used to do it in university. I also had to learn how to work with and learn from the professionals and researchers who were already doing this kind of work for several years now. My mistake and regret was not knowing this early on. I spent my summer breaks just accomplishing the prescribed courses in their curriculum. I didn't think to research on internship opportunities during my early years of college. And mind you, these industries and internship programs are much kinder to students. So during your summer breaks, term breaks, seek out internship opportunities, workshops, seminars where you can improve your skill set. By exposing yourself to a variety of environments, you can discover what you truly enjoy and where your skills best fit, which also translates to you discovering the career path that suits you best. Just as important is building your network of professors, researchers, and industry professionals early on. Whether that be sending a question about a confusing topic, reaching out for a potential thesis topic, or maybe even inquiring about an internship slot, send that email. I know it can be pretty scary and nerve-wracking to send an email, but the worst that can happen is just not getting a response. Just that. These professors and professionals have been in their field for several years now. They have more than enough experience to mentor you and to guide you through college. Who knows? Some of these people may be your thesis advisors, or some of them may even refer you to job opportunities later on. In college, it is all on you to manage your time. Professors won't care about you. There will always be one point in every semester where all professors just seem to pile on assignments, exams, and projects all at the same time. One minute you feel like you're on top of your tasks, the next minute you're suddenly falling behind. This is why it's important to develop your self-discipline. And self-discipline doesn't necessarily mean that you'd say no to each and every fun out there. Manage your time well, prioritize on getting tasks done, so you are able to free up space to enjoy the college life without the constant stress of being behind. Also, self-discipline applies not just to academics but also to your health. Since you are on your own, it's easy to fall into unhealthy habits. It's easy to place that late night delivery order. It's easy to binge eat on fast food. But remember that these habits are habits that you are building for your future self. I am all for cheat days, but don't let your cheat days get out of hand. If you take care of yourself and you develop healthy habits, you perform better in all areas of life. One of the lessons I learned the hard way is planning out my living conditions before moving in. I've already made an in-depth video of all the moving and essentials and advice you need, so feel free to check that out. But I used to have a roommate, and it was because of her that I decided I really wanted to live alone. I had already made a story time in that previous video, but basically she was unhygienic. The things she did within the condo were just disgusting. So point of the matter is thoroughly plan your living conditions. I'm not discouraging you from having a roommate. If you do plan on having a roommate, make sure to set your rules and roles and establish clear boundaries with each other. At the same time, be a respectful roommate. I've known so many of my friends who were roommates with their friends, and it did just end up breaking their friendship apart. But regardless, if you plan on having a roommate in college or not, make your home feel like home. Make it a space where you can unwind, relax, and breathe comfortably after a hectic day. Last, rest is productive too. I used to guilt trip myself into not resting. I always thought that me spending a few minutes laying in bed is just me wasting time, which I could have used to study more. But me not resting is just me making it more difficult for myself to study. Giving yourself that few-minute break or that few-hour break allows your brain to process what you've learned, so it's ready to take on other tasks more efficiently. You restore your energy, your focus, and you relieve yourself from any mental fatigue. So that sums up this week's list of everything I wish I knew when I was in college. I know this took a long while, so thank you so much for sticking around. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!